Roth IRA versus brokerage account. Which account is best for you? Well, it's going to depend on what it is you're trying to accomplish. What if you want to be financially free before 59 and a half? With a Roth IRA, you're going to be penalized if you take the money. But with a brokerage account, you can take it at any time. So it's going to depend on what you're looking to do. It might be a combination of both. As a reminder, I'm Taublieb, a financial planner. I'm here to help you become financially independent. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about Roth IRAs, brokerage accounts, which make most sense based on what you're trying to accomplish. Now, let's first by making a few assumptions. I'm going to assume that you don't want to work until the traditional age of 65. In fact, let's just say 60. So if you don't want to work until age 60, that's totally fine. Maybe you like doing what it is you do. Great, you can continue doing that. But I'm going to assume that work is optional for you. So to do that, what's the best account? Without a doubt, the Roth IRA, assuming that you're under the income threshold and you're doing all the right things in terms of investing and really investing the right way and getting the return you need. I'm assuming all of that's happening. But when we're just looking at which account is best, with the Roth IRA, you can put $6,000 in, that's the maximum for this year. And then if that grows and grows and grows for you for call it 30 years, you can expect with a good rate of return of call it 10% or so to have $1 million, and that's tax-free. That's one way of looking at this, is that at age 60, you will have a ton of money and maybe you want even more. Maybe there's different accounts you're investing in also. Maybe there's a 401k at work. Maybe there's a 403b. Maybe there's a pension. Maybe there's inheritance. All of that needs to be taken into consideration. But when we're just looking at Roth IRA versus brokerage accounts, if we take the same example of investing $6,000 for 30 years, and now you check your brokerage account balance and it's invested the same way as the Roth IRA, well now, think about it like this. All of that money, you can touch at any time. Yes, there's taxes, but there's no penalties. So one of the things I like about having what I call a financial freedom fund, which is the brokerage account, is you can touch the money at any time. Yes, there are taxes, but there's no penalties. With the Roth IRA, if you want any of the growth before 59 and a half, you're going to be penalized. It's a 10% penalty and you're paying taxes on it. So avoid that at all costs. Now, what I like to say is if it's in your budget, max out your Roth IRA. Now, do that, and then any additional money that you find that you can really invest, so after saving, after spending, after the emergency fund, after debt pay down, if after you do the $6,000 a year to the Roth IRA, and after you've taken advantage of any free money at your employer or anything like that, now look into the brokerage account. That brokerage account, that's going to be your financial freedom fund, and that's where I want you to look next after you've maxed that out. Now, that's just the financial part. Let's look at the non-financial part, because what if you want to be retired, or if you know by now, I don't like the word retired, I like financially free. When are you in a position where work is now optional? Well, that brokerage account, that's going to be what's called your flexibility account or your financial freedom account, because yes, there are taxes. Yes, you can invest it just like a Roth IRA by investing in some of the greatest companies in the world, and you can touch it at any time. You're forgiving those tax benefits. You're saying, I'm totally fine not taking that tax-free approach because in return, I have the ability to touch them whenever I want. So let's say you said, you know what, Ari, I want to be done at 50. Well, a Roth IRA might not make the most sense. I'd say maybe we do a balanced approach. Maybe it's $3,000 to a Roth, $3,000 to a brokerage account. Maybe it's $4,000 to the Roth, $2,000 to the brokerage, or other way around where you're saying, hey, I'm actually going to contribute more to the brokerage account because I want to touch this money before 59 and a half. I want to travel. I want to use some of the best years of my life to do whatever I want with. Great. So it's not necessarily a right versus wrong. It's what's your goal? Too often people come to me and they say, Ari, what's the best account to make the most money? And I come back to them and say, what do you want to do? Because it's not just about the money. Money is what we're using to accomplish what you care about most. And so let's take a step back and think about what it is you care about most. Do you want to keep working? Do you want to spend time with children? Do you want to travel? Do you want to switch careers? Do you want to start a new business? Whatever you want to do, let that be the driver behind the account type. Use your budgeting, use your automating, do everything so it's happening in the background, and you can only do that once you understand what it is you care about most. So as a summary, Roth IRAs, great account for building tax-free wealth. In fact, the best account. But if you want more flexibility and the ability to retire or to travel or do whatever you want before age 59 and a half, look at a brokerage account. It doesn't mean you can't do the Roth IRA. You can never do more than $6,000 to the Roth IRA, assuming the limit is that $6,000 every year moving forward, which I can promise it won't be. So fill up that bucket first. That's my recommendation. Now, if you once determine, hey, I've got more funds I want to invest, then any additional funds, those can go to the brokerage account. As a disclaimer, all of this information, this is not a recommendation. This is my advice, but please consult with your tax preparer, with your financial planner, with the professional you trust most, because ultimately that's how you're going to find the best decision for you and your goals. So I hope this was helpful. As a reminder, I put out videos every week. If this is interesting to you, let me know if there's a certain video that you want a topic to be done on. I'm happy to help. And as a reminder, I'm Taublieb, a financial planner. You can work with me by going to my website, personalfinanceredefined.co, and looking at my strategies, how I invest, how I view tax planning, how I can save you money and help make you money. So that is what I love doing. That's why I do it. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.